Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I wanted to come on and just share with you a little bit about, our dreams and the things that hold us back. I was writing in a newsletter this morning about the fact that sometimes we feel like we have one dream in this life, one giant goal, one mission, if you will, that we either complete or fulfill, or we just give up. We have nothing more to give or contribute to in that way. And what sparked this for me was watching my son this week. He just started a new basketball team, and they happened to be practicing at the junior college that I attended when I was fresh out of high school. What was interesting about this, though, is it's actually the same location that growing up, I was in ballet, I was in musical theater, I participated in plays and operettas. I spent a good amount of my childhood from the time I was 6 years old all the way through college or beginning of college in this location. And so it brought back all these memories just flooding to me as I thought about my own childhood dreams, the things that I wanted to become. And then even into college, I was a cheerleader, I was singing for the choir, and I was just participating in different activities, having different ideas at that time in my life of what it was that I wanted to do. And for whatever reason, at that time, I let fear, hold me back. And so as I was sitting there, I was thinking about, having my whole life in front of me and what that felt like, and the fear and the uncertainty and the ambiguity that I felt, and how I let some of the opinions of others hold me back. And sometimes it wasn't even the opinions of others, it was my perceived opinions of others. And then it dawned on me, this is the exact same place that I'm in my life now, where I have my whole future ahead of me. I have everything that I am pushing for in my life still ahead of me. And I wonder if you ever feel that way too, because I think sometimes when we're in our careers for a certain amount of time, we forget all of that. We forget about childhood dreams. We forget about what it felt like to have everything before us. And we start to discount this idea and actually prematurely age ourselves because we're looking at life from this very interesting lens where we're starting to just follow this path, follow the system, and slowly but surely forgetting about our dreams, our passions, our goals. And so I ask, what is the goal that we have, what you have in your life? What is it that you're wanting to cultivate and create as a leader, as someone who has an indelible mark on the people that you work with? What's that next level step for you? When I'm working with clients, oftentimes they're coming to me and they're asking that same question. I've been in my career for a while and I really just don't know where I'm supposed to go next. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. And sometimes it doesn't have to mean stepping up into the next tier within your organization. That might not be what it is for you. It might be something totally different. It might be joining a board. It might be becoming a co-founder or a founder of an organization. It could be becoming more part of a nonprofit, starting a nonprofit, or really just following some other pursuit or passion that brings greater meaning and fulfillment into your life. And so oftentimes that's what we start to do. We start to uncover, what are these other facets of ourselves? What are these other pieces that we're not yet bringing to the table? What's inside of us that's needing to still surface? And as I was thinking about that, I was thinking, our childhood dreams, we assume that we just have one. We assume that we just have one, or if we did at that time, we had maybe many, but they were only for a season. And then if it passed, oh well, too late, so bad. What if I were to say, we are constantly evolving, and so too are our dreams. So too are our lives, because we are thinking about things in a completely different context. We're at a different time in our lives. We have different priorities. We are evolving continually. We are shifting and changing and appreciating life from a completely different perspective. If I had followed my childhood dreams, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be doing the work that I'm doing today. And I'm not really sure what I would, if that would have come into fruition. I don't know if I would have found the fulfillment that I really thought I was looking for. So I think we need to honor and step back sometimes for a second and really acknowledge, look at how far we've come. Number one, look at how far we have come. Look at how far, all of the things that you have accomplished thus far in your life. What are those experiences that you have learned and gained through your years? What is the skill set and the expertise that you bring to, your organization, your career, the people that you are involved with? And really then thinking about, how do you take this? How do you take this that you have learned and start to incorporate it and fold it in to different aspects of your life that you still have yet to uncover? There's still so much more to explore. As Chip Connolly talks about, we are just beginning to recognize that our lives are extending so much longer. And I think when we start to reach our mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s, 50s, we're almost giving ourselves this sentence that we can't do more. We've already written in sand our eternity and our future, and that's it. And that's just not how life is. That's not what we are here to do. And I think that we are continually evolving and changing and growing. And the wisdom that we're gaining is immeasurable. And that is what we can continue to give and put forth. So even if we can't clearly see a defined role or a defined path for ourselves, we can make one. We can create it. We can still explore the possibilities that lay out in front of us so that we can become continually more of who we've wanted to become. And so this finite idea, it really has no bearing when it comes to ourselves, to our careers, to developing a legacy that we want to create. And so I ask you, what is it that your childhood dream can even teach you today? What is that inner child within you? What is that bringing forth? And when you think about that person, that individual who was there, what can they teach you about yourself in the present moment? I know for me, I have learned so much about trusting myself and trusting my intuition and honoring understanding that I also have to protect myself and that I have to protect those around me and those that I love. I've also had to recognize inner strength and inner qualities that I did not recognize when I was young. And so really recognizing and honoring that. And so I can take those strengths and I can apply them to the work that I do today and how I help people and how I help them to see beyond the limitations for themselves. And so I ask you, what are those limitations that you have self-imposed? And if you have this endless idea, if when you were a kid, if it was like endless possibilities, can that come forth in you still? Have you already written the end? Or is the end still coming? Is it still unknown for you? Sometimes when I'm talking to people with great wisdom, it's always about exploring more of the possibilities that they had in their lives. The work was only a piece of it, and pouring more of themselves into the things that brought meaning and value and purpose is their greatest achievement. Where are you at when you think about these things? Where are you at in your life right now? So as a leader, as a visionary, you are in charge of yourself. You have the autonomy and the freedom to decide to bring forth the greatest version of yourself, to explore new possibilities and unfold new parts of yourself. I don't think I would have known where I would be even 5 years ago because it was unknown. I was still learning, I was still growing and still expanding at that moment. And I still am today as I continue to learn and expand and go through new lessons in life, new areas where I'm uncovering how our brain works and neuroscience and all of these things that I had never really dove into quite as deeply before. And so where are you? What is it that you would like moving forward in your life and in your future? What would you like to see for your career? What kind of leader would you like to be, and what would you like to be leading? I know in given times, we feel the limitations, we feel the squeeze of society right now. We feel the squeeze and limitations of the economy right now, the world and the politics that are happening outside of our own little bubbles at times. And it can feel insurmountable. But when we start to think about how we can make a difference, who are we here to serve? How can we make change in our lives, in our worlds, for those we love and care about and those around us? It becomes so much bigger than ourselves. It's not just about us. It's not just about you. It's not just about me. It becomes we. And collectively, what's that piece that you want to be a part of? What is it you want to go and do and find and discover and create? So as it sits with you and really thinking about that, have you written off your life? Or are you just beginning to explore it? I'm going to be announcing tomorrow a new workshop series that I'm putting out, Evolve. It's about how you evolve and elevate yourself so that you can continue to rise up. And I'll be going through all of the things that hold us back in our lives, in our careers, from really pushing forward, from really saying yes to ourselves and the things that we have inside, to our core values and our beliefs, and how we honor that, how we honor ourselves and the work that we do and what we participate in and what we associate ourselves with. And so it's going to be starting on April 27th through May 2nd, 1 hour a day. It's a, 7-day series where you can come in, fill your cup, start thinking about how you might like to explore other avenues within your life, how you might like to take the things that you have learned and grown into and apply them in unique and interesting ways. How you might like to bring in more of your passions and your purpose into the work that you do. And really creating a strategy and a plan so that you can start to embark on that. Most of the work, it's all about how do we make things in our lives possible? We always have reasons that we can stay stuck. That's never the issue. There is always going to be time management issues. There is always going to be fear and uncertainty. There is always going to be a degree of risk in anything that we do. And I ask you, what is the risk of by not doing something? What is the risk for your life when you look back on it for not going forward and believing in yourself and having the self-efficacy necessary to start really saying, yes, you did it once before. You wouldn't be where you are today had you not taken those risks. And yet, it's not so much of a risk when you have a plan, when you have a strategy, when you understand how you make it work, how you create greater time in your life and efficiencies, how you can, create habits for success. And so we'll be covering some of those areas as well. So it's less about adding more and more about how do we make creating a life of abundance and success and joy possible? How do we make it possible and easy? It doesn't have to be difficult. It can be simple and it can be easy and it can be fun. So I'll be putting more into LinkedIn and other channels starting tomorrow where you can come register. I am so looking forward to sharing this content with you. If you have been ready and considering how do you step forward in your career? How do you step forward in a greater way in your life? How do you start saying yes to the things that matter to you? Then you're going to want to come and share with me. And I'm here to share with you, and I'd love to get to know you better. And let's see how we can create possibility in your life so that you are finding that joy and that meaning and that purpose. So I hope you can join me there. Let me know in the comments what's coming up for you. How does your childhood dreams, how does that even resonate for you? We have so many thoughts around those types of ideas, and I'm always curious to know what speaks to you as well. All right. I hope you can join me in the next coming weeks. More information to come.